Sure. Hold on.
An incredible game. What a finish. It essentially goes to quadruple overtime, and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers come away with a victory in Ottawa tonight. The RedBlacks remain winless. The Bombers improve to 4-2. Welcome inside Game Day After Dark here on Bonfire Sports. And we are live immediately following an absolute barn burner game, 36-34 final. Zach Schnitzer joins us here on the channel, as he always does. Schnitzy, your initial thoughts on this one? It went back and forth to the mini games in overtime, to the 2-point convert mini games in overtime, a knockdown on the final play, and Winnipeg comes away with victory. Oh, here comes the chain.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, buddy. Drew Brown, but not out. Drew comes through on the 2 to Cobb, and then Cramdy shuts it down, baby. That's a 2-point victory in overtime.
Oh, little Paul Edmonds there. I like it.
Paul Edmonds is the best, by the way. Actually,
Totally.
I didn't even mean to copy Paul Edmonds, but hey, if you got to copy somebody, buddy, what
Incredible
a game. Like, the big question I had was, if the Bombers lost this game but came all the way back and got into that 2-point convert fest, would there be any positive takeaways for the Bombers, right? Against an 0-5 team. And we don't have to talk about that. Thank goodness, buddy. I mean, it was ugly. There were penalties galore. There were miscues by the Bombers. They were stagnant. But what do you say, man?
They
found
don't
a
ask
way to
how.
win.
They ask how many. The Bombers skirt a loss in Ottawa tonight. Incredible game. We got so much to get to. First things first, big ups to Bonfire intern Evan Doyle of Canadian Mennonite University. Good friend of Connor Hrabchuk of Canadian Mennonite University, now an esteemed graduate of the program, working for WST. We're Schnitzy. You'll be on with Connor tomorrow morning, right?
Oh, yeah, not in less than 12 hours.
Okay, well, we're going to get into all of it, but big ups to, to Evan Doyle, who was cutting clips throughout the game today. We've got video highlights. We're going to look at it all. The good, the bad, and the ugly, as I always like to say. A big reason why he gets a Walby Warrior nod tonight is Evan Doyle cutting those clips while I was at the Seabears game. Crazy news coming out of that Seabears game. Horrific news coming out of the Canadian Football League. We'll get to that as well. We'll talk about Zach Collaros, Drew Brown, Zach Collaros' prognosis, timeline for recovery, if you will. And of course, all you guys in the live chat. Aaron is in the live chat. Good to see you, Aaron. We're going to see you in the 1930 crew later. Charlie Dufo, Prick Fetty, always bringing the heat. Mischievous Wolf, Farside, J-Boy, everybody. Great to see you in the live chat here on Game Day After Dark. Schnitzy, maybe we'll start with Zach Collaros landing on the 6-game injured list, because this is essentially the headline right now. We knew he missed last week. Now he's placed on the 6th game. Will he miss 6 games? Not necessarily. He could play next week. This is a reality. Normally you have to be on for 4 or 6. They can take him off early. You have to understand, this is the Winnipeg Blue Bombers' highest paid player. You're going to do everything you can to save money. If it's a week or 2, you're going to put him on the 6th game. So we'll have to wait and see. No open practices for the Blue Bombers this week. They'll have one closed practice. They'll have a walkthrough, and then they'll get ready for their game When is it? Friday?
Friday,
Yeah,
Calgary, Christmas in
that's right.
July game.
Yes, at the Madhouse on Matheson. So Chris Walby and I'll get Game Day Winnipeg going on Thursday. If you missed it, we had fun dockside at Casa de Walby yesterday. But we'll go live on Wednesday, and then you and I will have a post game here on Friday. Or pardon me,
Friday
Walby and I
night.
will do it Thursday.
Friday.
You and I will do it Friday. But the Bombers are closed practice on Wednesday. They're off Monday and Tuesday. So we'll have to wait and see. We'll just have to wait and see. But did Drew Brown come back down to earth tonight?
Sorry, I dropped my pen. It's not a click pen, everybody. I
Thank
I
goodness.
do think Drew Brown didn't have a game to remember per se. I think the Bombers team did. I think you have to look at the defense when you look at this game, that they saved the Bombers' butts this time. They were literally doing chest compressions on that Bombers offense, and they woke them up at the last minute, right before the Bombers hit closing time. But look, you look at Drew Brown's numbers out of context, Darren. 63%, not great, but okay. Over 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. He has an efficiency over 100. He arguably outduels Jake Mayer. But how many balls did he put in harm's way?
Mm-hmm.
There were at least 2 that I saw that were interceptable, so that's not good. He
And
wasn't
late.
on the same page, and late there. Yeah, there was some iffy decisions. There was he wasn't on the same page with Ontario Wilson late in the game. They would have had about a 20-yard gain on a simple out. So I don't think Drew Brown played great by any means, but you know, here's what I was thinking when Ottawa goes up by 17. I'm thinking about what we're going to talk about in an absolutely crushing, maybe even embarrassing loss, Darren. And what was coming to mind was, okay, yeah, nobody expected Ottawa to win this game, but you have to remember that Drew Brown, Tommy Condell, Tim White were all, or not Tim White, sorry, Tommy Condell and Drew Brown were part of this Ottawa offense for 2 years. And William Fields is the D coordinator for Ottawa. He knows what they're going to do. And I think Condell didn't put Brown in the best positions. I thought they weren't able to utilize Brady against one of the worst rush defenses in the CFL. And the play calling, I thought he went to the well too many times on those intermediate benders for Wilson, Neal, and White, and he almost got burned. But listen, they were desperate. I mean, this was a make or break game for Ottawa. No team's ever made the playoffs, I think, starting 0-6. So they had everything on the line. You throw in the storylines with Drew Brown versus Jake Mayer. So I don't think Drew Brown played a great game, and arguably, if Ottawa DBs could hang on to the ball, Winnipeg loses this game, no question. Darren,
Mm-hmm.
love to hear your thoughts and people in the chat. But the last thing I'll say here is you have to remember this is Drew Brown's second game. It's on the road. He doesn't have the crowd behind him. I know Mike O'Shea keeps talking about how he has high emotional intelligence. But he had to feel the pressure here. This is, he was thrown on the scrap heap for Jake Mayer, and now they're going head to head in Ottawa. Big pressure game, tight West Division.
Mm-hmm.
You need this win against a beatable team because you're going to have to play the likes of Calgary again and Edmonton and Saskatchewan. So he won the game, but that should have been picked off. The highlight you're throwing there. So I would say I'm not going to give him a pass, but pardon the pun, but he has to be better, and that offense has to be better. You can't spot a good team 17 points and win unless you're playing Ottawa, maybe BC without Nathan Rourke.
Winnipeg was nowhere near good enough early in the game. I thought the defense was okay. Here, I'm just going to lower my camera a little bit. Schnitzy, I encourage you to do the same.
Yeah, and my lighting's I'm a little too shiny.
I
I think it's
think
the
you need
gold.
to wipe your lens. That's what I think. And
You say that every 10
tilt
minutes.
that camera right down.
How many
Tilt it right
times have
down.
I wiped this lens? What do I wipe it with? My shirt? I don't even have a.
You can
You
wipe it
probably
with
have
anything.
like
I
a.
just don't want to see your belly if you reach out with the bottom of your shirt.
I bet you, Mr.
I had to
Gearhead,
sit, hang
Mr.
on. I had to sit next to Walby's big belly for hours yesterday. See,
Oh
look at
wow,
that.
you
You
were
look
right.
great. Here,
Look,
tilt it down, tilt it down.
I'm crystal clear, man.
You are crystal clear now.
Crystal
You were a
clear.
little
Ah,
shiny.
well,
You
let's
were a little
go on.
glitzy before, or whatever it was. Um,
Oh man.
so Winnipeg nowhere near good enough at the beginning of this game. It was 3-0, then 3-3, then 6-3, then 6-6, then 9-6, then 9-9, then 12-9, then 19-9. When they finally put together the RedBlacks, that is a 5-play 82-yard drive where their backup quarterback, Irish quarterback Barnes, punches it in from a yard out. Major Williams had a 12-yard defensive pass interference on that. That was the final possession of the second half or second quarter, rather. Yeah, Aaron, Walby was tarps off. That was a fun show. But in the second half, if it wasn't for the Blue Bombers defense, okay, this game would have been over. It was quickly 26-9 for the RedBlacks, but Winnipeg had a goal line stop for a turnover on downs. They then had an end zone interception, which was reviewed because of an illegal contact call on, or a challenge from the RedBlacks for an illegal contact call on Dietrich Nichols. They got this call right. Nichols is standing there, okay? He is not moving left, right, or north or south, okay? He is not moving, and the receiver runs into him. And Ottawa tried to get a penalty out of that, and rightfully so, the replay center said, can't do that. You can't draw a penalty just by running into a defender. They're entitled to their own space. So I'm very happy the CFL got that call right. The officials got that call right. And that ultimately upheld an incredible interception from Jake Kelly. Incredible interception. Do I got it? Of course I got it. I got it here. Evan, just killing the game, my man.
Way to
Thank
go,
you,
Evan.
sir.
Those CMU grads are really good.
They are really good.
Look out, Red River.
Here's the Jake Kelly interception. I'm going to have to pull it back one sec. This was a huge play, both for the team and the defense as a whole, but also for Jake Kelly. He made a great play at the end of last week's game against the Argos. This is a young Canadian stud. Jake Kelly is, in my opinion, the safety of the future for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Frankly, he's the safety right now. He was dang good. Huge interception for Jake Kelly. That goal line stand, that end zone interception to keep the RedBlacks off the board when they were throwing daggers at the Blue Bombers, leading 19-9. Okay. Turnover on downs, end zone interception, another turnover, and then an 8-play, 70-yard drive. Like, Ottawa's offense was clicking, and Winnipeg's defense did just enough to only be down 26-9. To me, that's the bonfire burning point tonight. Live chat, hit me up. I want to know what you think your bonfire burning point was tonight. How about you, Schnitz?
You know, I'm looking at my notes here because for me, the burning point was, I think that I was going to say that you kind of showed it already, where Drew Brown is in overtime is trying to throw up maybe a corner route there to Tim White, and they went to White all night long.
I'm going to show
And
this Evan Holm player right now.
This new Ottawa DB, also named Brown, he had a hell of a game, by the way. I know we don't want to talk too much about Ottawa. I mean, that was an incredible. I mean, You know what?
I called that a hero play when I tweeted about
That
it.
honestly, that I don't know if that's the burning point. I mean that home knockdown. How that's why speed is so important when you're a DB. I mean, not to mention the reach there. I mean, that's a touchdown. That's game over. Look at the closing speed by him. He doesn't get the PI. You could say it's the goal line stand. I mean, I don't know if you have John
Sore feet
Perlberg
thinks
or
so. Yep.
Steve Daniels' phone number, Darren, but I'd love to know the last time a team stopped, like turned the ball over on downs after holding the other team from the
Great comment.
2-yard line or the 1-yard line 3 times in a row.
Mm-hmm.
The last time I remember the Bombers doing this, pulling that off, Darren, and I'm going to go way back, 2007 East semifinal against Montreal. The Bombers win by 1 point on a walk-off field goal from your boy Troy Westwood.
Mm-hmm.
And the Bombers had a goal line stand, I think. Waiters will know this. I'll have to look back. 3 plays in a row where they stuffed Montreal, and they end up winning the game. They end up going to the Grey Cup, but they should have won. But to be like, do you know what is the percentage of a team stopping an offense in a goal on the goal line with 1 yard off the ball between the lines, like 3 times? That's insane. Like that is the burning point. I'm sorry, I was going to talk about Brown dropping the interception. I mean, if the Ottawa RedBlacks score there, the game is pretty much over, of course.
Which
That
one?
was insane.
Which one?
The goal line stand. I mean, ask the TSN stats guys, CFL stats guys rather. When is the last time that happened?
Mm-hmm.
That is unbelievable. The chances of that happening in the CFL with 1 yard off the ball, Darren, must be like 0.1%. Insane. Should I tweet at Steve Daniel? You'll reach out to him, I'm sure.
I can reach out.
You know people, Darren.
Yeah, send me an email. I'll pass it along. Yeah, okay. I know Steve. Great guy. Great guy.
Yeah, that
Canadian
was insane.
Football Hall of Famer, by the way.
Right. Yeah.
Here's a Winnipeg's goal line stand. First and goal.
Let's see all 3 plays.
If I got them, I'll play them. First and goal from the 2. Stuffed them. Here's a replay of it. Oh no, this is second and goal. Now, a lot of people are saying, how is he not breaking the plane here? Like, if you look at where Barnes's jersey is and the ball is in his belly, he's close. But if they can't see the ball and it's not conclusive, you can't call that a touchdown.
Yeah.
Third and goal. And Kyrie and Tony Jones just penetrate the line. Watch these guys. Okay. Where is Kyrie Wilson? Kyrie Wilson is on the edge. He's on the near side on the edge of the line, and Tanner Cadwallader's coming in right behind him. And then Tony Jones is right at the goalpost. Watch those 2 guys. Wilson 19, Tony Jones 33.
Oh, Kyrie Wilson, like what a play by him, eh?
He went unblocked.
The gap there.
Yeah. He went unblocked.
I mean, that's inexcusable from the Ottawa offense, but still.
But watch Tony Jones. He kind of gets into the fray here and then still kind of gets his body over.
Yeah.
Kind of looking like Adam Bighill there, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
His goal line, incredible work from the Bombers. Huge. A performance from Winnipeg's offense that was, You look at the numbers though, like Drew Brown, 317 yards, 63%, no interceptions, although there were a lot of close calls. 2 touchdowns, no picks, 100 quarterback efficiency rating. Brady
That'll get
has
it done.
4.8 yards per rush. Not bad. I thought the receivers did really good work tonight. Ontario Wilson, 15 targets, catches 7 for 64. Tim White, 7 on 9 targets for 97. Nick Dembski, huge. He was so big tonight when they needed him, especially in overtime. He had 2 second down conversions, 90 yards on 5 catches. Tommy Neild, you talk about the good and the bad. Tommy Neild had both of them tonight. A ball that went through his hands in the end zone in overtime that was nearly intercepted. That could have ended the game. But 3 second down conversions. Wilson also had 3 second down conversions. I'm going to see if I can find those plays by Tommy Neild. It was his, he had 2 penalties on the same play. Where was that here? In the fourth quarter, it was a Dante Daniels, 13-yard catch, but Tommy Neild had a 5-yard procedure penalty and then a 15-yard illegal block penalty. So that backed them up from the 16 to the 36, and they had to settle for a field goal. Then it was 26-12 midway, or early in the fourth quarter. And it's like, you need touchdowns, and they weren't getting it. That was a tough moment. That was a really tough moment. But ultimately, that's football, right? You get a little bit of the good and a little bit of the bad. You just hope it comes out in the wash, as they say.
Yeah, you and I were talking about Tommy Neild, and if he doesn't stop dropping key balls in key moments, you remember he dropped one against Hamilton in the corner, dropped a touchdown. He's dropped a key second down ball. I think it was in that game or the first game. I think it's about 4 now he's dropped that, and that happens once in a while, especially on a rain game against Edmonton. But you can't keep dropping the ball, and you can't take those penalties. I mean, one of those penalties you talked about took us. We were second and 25.
Mm-hmm.
Again, against a good team, the Bombers would have got absolutely roasted. They were lucky to win this game. Let's be honest, Darrin.
100%.
Yeah, they were lucky to win this game. Now, you got to be good to be lucky and lucky to be good and all that crap. Neild has to be better because if he doesn't improve, he's going to be not touchdown Tommy Neild. He's going to be let down Tommy Neild. He has to improve. The Bombers need more production on offense. They are the lowest scoring offense in the league. They were last year too. We expected better from this outfit. I don't care if Collaros is leading the charge or Drew Brown. They have to do better. And they pulled this one out. And and I know it's easier to learn from a win. They now have a short-ish week, pretty short week. You talked about that. And then they have another short week when BC comes to town on July 30th. They don't have a lot of practices. They have to clean this up, or they will lose. If they play like this, even against BC, they will lose those 2 games.
This
is the Bombers' time to make hay, man. They've got easier games in this part of the schedule. Yeah, he has to, and that was almost picked by former Blue Bomber DeMario Houston.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, someone on the chat said, had they reviewed that, or had they could have easily called that an interception.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Bombers
Here's
are
a better
lucky.
look at it. Yeah. Yeah. Bomber Boy says they disagree.
Yeah.
What do you disagree about? Let us know. Love the live chat.
Love
Great to see everybody. If you're in the live chat right now, hit that thumbs up. That's a catchable ball, needs to be caught. And DeMario Houston comes in here. He tries to sell it afterwards. You can't blame him. But that is clearly right there on the turf.
Oh, yeah. Just staying with the offense, Darrin.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, Patty Rathwell, hey, you might want to take the day off tomorrow if you finished all your butter ripple, man. He was nervous watching this game, as was I. Man, my heart was hammering. Oh, but
just look at these Jake Mayer numbers.
Oh my God! But I was just gonna say, I think it was Prickfetti. Welcome to the chat, Prickfetti. Nice to have you. he or she or they posted this on the chat, and I was going to say this too, but hey, they got to it first. We talked about Drew Brown's good numbers. I mean, it's a good game. Not a great completion percentage, but 2 touchdowns. You win the game, over 300 yards, 100 efficiency rating, Darren. At the end of the third quarter, he had under 100 yards passing. He had 99 yards passing, 50% completion percentage. And he throws 218 yards in 1 quarter, double overtime, and then the 2-point fest. What do we need a moniker. We need a name for this 2-point shot for shot kind of thing after double overtime if it's still tied, Darren. Right here, right now on this show, we need to coin something. Whoever gets it, I'd love to hear a good name, catchy name for that. By the way, Darren and Chad, since we're talking about that, what did folks think of that 2-point conversion, kind of shot for shot, almost sudden death, not quite? I loved it. I thought it was riveting. A game comes down to one play. The Eugene Lewis catch was absolutely insane. The first 2-pointer, Darren, he had 2 guys on him. I can't believe he caught that ball. Oh, you have it right here. Look at this guy.
These are
Mayor's.
the
Look at
2-point
that.
converts. It's Ottawa's first. We'll just
Holman
we'll watch
Moxie
them.
have him bracketed. Like there's no way he should catch that ball. But man, riveting. 2-point panic, says Twig and Berries. I like it.
Yeah. I'm with
Look at
Vicky.
this.
I love the shot for shot.
Yeah.
It's a great overtime format. And I do also like that after 4 possessions or 2 mini games of, start on the opposing 35 and try to score. I do like that they go to the 2-point converts. That's bang, bang, possession. I also like that they just do it in the same side of the field. Like the mini games, they switch it up, right? They go on the east side of the field, then they'll go to the west side of the field, or the north and the south. I think with the 2 points, they just pick an end zone and away they go. Yeah.
Oh, I'm dying to change the subject here, Darren. I think you and I both. But first, let's watch these highlights. So Ontario Wilson sits down on a route. He gets the 2-pointer to tie. Then the Bombers go again, just like the overtime rules, right? Kind of like a snake draft here. I was just thinking that, Dottie. I hate penalty kicks in soccer. This is amazing.
What's the you wanted to change the subject?
Well, I was, and then I realized you were still running through these.
That's okay.
These plays from the.
That's all right.
2-point plays.
What do you want to talk about?
Well, let me just say we do have to credit Retta Cramdy, the closer, for that knockdown, Darren. Unbelievable play by Cramdy to knock it down.
Oh, on the final play?
Great defense. Yeah. Great defense.
Yeah. We're going to talk about Willie J.
We're going to talk about Willie J.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the defense for a second, because I'm seeing a lot of criticism leveled at the defense, and it seems like for Jordan Younger's entire tenure, Darren, people have kind of been ripping this Bombers defense, particularly the secondary. They were also ripping the lack of pass rush, rushing 3. Well, this Bombers team blitzed like crazy tonight, especially when Pelios went out, the Ottawa starting right tackle, and they have to shift things around. Willie Jefferson was an animal. Yeah, Pat's right there. Tackling was
100%.
really, really good.
I was just typing. Tackling. You're right, Pat. Yeah.
There's Cobb with the 2-pointer, which would be the winning points. Way to go, Cobb. Manitoba boy, Winnipeg.
Big boy Scotty T. I see your text there, or your chat there. We're gonna talk about Jaden Dalkey momentarily.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, and Willie was Vicky, very sharp there. Vicky Short. Yeah, Willie was held really badly on one play. But people like now you get the pass rush. That they were blitzing like crazy, Darren. I'm not sure if that was scheme, what kind of scheme it was. Maybe they thought they had something on that Ottawa O line, but they were blitzing like crazy. And when you do that, and Jake Mayer, malign him as much as you want, but this guy's been around for a while. He kind of knows where to go with the ball under pressure. And to his credit, he got it there. The Ottawa receivers made catches. I mean, sometimes these DBs were on an island. I thought Jonathan Moxey had a stellar game. He's a guy I was kind of wondering about, Darren, early in the season. You see Home there. You see Cramdy with those critical knockdowns. Yeah, they did. They gave up a lot of yards. There was a lot. I don't know. I think this soft zone thing is overused, Darren. I'd love to hear your thoughts as someone who's been watching and playing the
I
game.
think the term soft zone is overused because that's not what it is.
Okay. Okay,
Oh,
we'll come back to that.
uh-oh,
We'll come
uh-oh,
back to that.
uh-oh.
What? What?
Did I make you mad?
Me?
I'm kidding,
Me?
obviously. Yeah.
You didn't make me mad at all. How could I be mad? Okay, let's get to soft
The
zone in a
Bombers
second,
won. It is
Darren.
true. How could you be mad?
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to rewatch this one for sure. I'm gonna rewatch this one. But what was the yards per play for Ottawa? That's often
I'll pull up some.
very telling.
I'll pull up some of those. There you
Average
go.
gain 6 yards. That's meh.
So
They have 420 yards net offense.
yeah. First downs 25-22 for Ottawa. Second down conversion rate was identical, 10-22 and 12-27. Third down, Winnipeg was 0 for 1 on third down. That was the turnover on downs on Winnipeg's first possession. Perkins getting stuffed on 3rd and 1. But Ottawa went 3 for 4 on third down. And both teams were, 2 of 6, 2 of 7 in the red zone. Net offense, pretty close. Average gain, pretty close. Net offense, there is a gap there. Ottawa had 420 yards to Winnipeg's 367. A lot of that is because Ottawa pushed it downfield and then goal line stand, turnover on downs. And then they pushed it downfield and it was Jake Kelly, interception in the end zone, another turnover after marching the field. So that's why Ottawa had more yards, but ultimately the same amount of points going into overtime as the Blue Bombers. Yards per attempt, a yard difference. You were asking about yards per play?
Yeah. I don't know if they even have that.
Well, rushing was 4.3 for Winnipeg, 3.4 for Ottawa, and then passing 8.6 yards per attempt, 7.4 yards per attempt for the Blue Bombers. So I guess they don't have. Oh, here's your. Where is it? It's somewhere here. What are you playing with? What's the crinkle?
Crinkle? I'm just typing. I'm typing at John Perlberg. I want to know
you're
the last time.
It's the
Okay,
chiclets.
so
the chiclets.
I'm looking at the stats here, Darren. New information, new conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
The Bombers, despite all the blitzing, for their standards, because we always talk about Jordan Younger not being. I think he's disrespected. I think for the past number of years that pass defense has been the best in the CFL. Now, did they let them down in the Grey Cups, big spots? For sure, playoff games. But overall, they've been elite. I mean, coming into this game, Winnipeg's defense was giving up the lowest completion percentage in the CFL.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, that's big. They were middle of the pack in opponent pass efficiency, top 3 in opponent pass TDs.
That's your.
They're a good defense. But tonight, they gave up 75% to Jake Mayer, who's the came in as the worst quarterback in the league, bar none. Winnipeg's average is only giving up 66.3%, which is, again, best in the CFL. So, yeah, to their standards, they didn't play up to their standards. I do think, looking back too, there was some miscommunication. I think there were times where Moxie, as good as he played, wasn't quite sure what was going on with the scheme. I don't know. Like, yeah, it wasn't a great game. Blitz didn't get home maybe as much as you'd like. Ottawa seemed to have the answers when they blitzed. So credit Jake Maier.
Yeah, I think you got to credit Jake Maier. I think you got to credit the RedBlacks. Like, look, they're not a good football team. Their record shows it. But there is some truth to a winless team is dangerous. Like,
yeah,
the reality is, and nobody wants it or expects it to happen to against their favorite team, right? But winless seasons are the ultimate rarity. The ultimate rarity. They're as rare as lossless seasons. Bad teams find ways to win. It's football. It's a game of, it's weird. It's weird sometimes.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think you're right. Your back's against the wall. You have nothing to lose. You're going to throw haymakers. And speaking of haymakers, Ottawa's offense connected, which was very uncharacteristic, Darrin. Ottawa and Winnipeg both came in the 5 previous games. They had a total of 4 30-yard completions between, respectively, which was by far the worst in the CFL.
I wanted to mention this
game, but let me just finish this.
Yeah.
This game, and then I know I interrupted you.
That's okay.
In this game, I'm looking it up here. Ottawa, speaking of haymakers, had 3 30-plus yard passes in a game. Their offense somehow got explosive. It started with that Pimpleton 41-yard pass from Maier. Yeah, so I think yeah, the defense stopped them when they counted, and you can't take that away. But yeah, they did kind of get shredded by Jake Maier and that Ottawa offense.
I wouldn't say shredded. You're hyperbolic, bro.
By their standards.
You're hyperbolic. You're a little exaggerative.
You're just hyper.
Shredded?
By their standards. Their standards.
No. Like 344 yards passing is shredded?
By their standards.
Come on, man.
Well,
Come
I interrupted
on.
you.
It's because it's Jake Maier. If that was VA, if that was Trevor Harris, if that was
exactly,
nobody would say, "Oh, they got shredded."
It's Jake Maier.
By their standards,
they were giving up 1.6 30-yard passes per game. They gave up 3.
Blue and Golden says you're hard on your blue and gold tonight.
That's double. I'm hard on them because they shouldn't have won this game against the worst team in the CFL.
They did win.
They shouldn't have. Penalty yards? Like, this was un-Bomber-like, man.
Yeah, what was the penalty
yards? 77 penalty.
That's huge.
That's like another team having like 200 penalties.
7 for 77. There were some big ones.
They should have been picked off 3 or 4 times.
I wanted to draw attention to this. Curbs 44. Haven't seen you in the live chat before. Thanks for chiming in. That's what the bonfire is. Oh my God, I didn't start the bonfire. I'm going to have to fire that up.
Oh no.
That's what the bonfire is, Curbs. It's for us to sit around the fire and chop it up. Curbs says, felt like it wasn't there today for the Bombers rushing attack. In overtime, I loved how Winnipeg went after it in the run game in overtime. Loved it.
Yeah.
First play of overtime. First play. I'm going to go spark the fire. You just watch what happens.
I love Brady.
And they went right back to it. They went right back to it on the next play. Right back to the run.
Yeah.
This is the first play of overtime after Ottawa throws the ball. They went 10-yard completion, 10-yard completion, 5-yard completion, incompletion, 4 straight passes, and then a Brett Lowther field goal. Winnipeg gets their first possession in overtime, and they run for 20 on first down. They run for 2 on this 1st and 10. Then there's a near interception. Then a Tommy Neal catch for 11 yards. Oliveira ran for 1. Well, we'll see all of this here. I'll just let it run, Schnitzy. But I really like Tommy Condell's play calling in overtime. I think when it was time for the 2-point converts, they ran great plays. They found ways like the whole little bit. When you're right, Vicky, that was a huge reason why the penalties were tough. That was a 25-yarder on Fletcher. A little bit of a tangent. You can't tell me moving the goalposts is going to make it easier for offenses to score in the red zone. I think the goalposts are an advantage to the offense in the red zone. A huge advantage. It's effectively a defender they can run picks off of. Or not a defender, like an offensive player they can run picks off of. Don't tell me the goalposts hinder offense. That's idiocy.
You don't think it's going to cause moving the goalpost back? You don't think it's going to cause 60 more touchdowns per season? Sorry.
Oh, for those listening on podcast, we're available on all your platforms, by the way. My eyes are buried in the back of my skull. Oh, give me a break.
Okay. But
anybody who knows anything about football knows that those goalposts in the field, and they will be gone next year. I'm not complaining. I'm simply saying the idea that removing them will equal more points, that it's a disadvantage to have those goalposts for the offense. You don't know what you're talking about. And I think everyone out there knows who I'm talking of.
I'm taking receipts here, folks.
I'll just say it.
9:57, Sunday, July 19th.
It was
Darrin
anecdotal.
Says,
it was an anecdotal story that Stuart Johnson shared, saying that when he was a kid.
Oh my God.
The goalposts, blah, 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 blah.
Oh my God.
I talked to offensive coordinators in elite amateur football. I talked to offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators in professional football. I talked to players, active and retired, recent players, long retired players. I talked to so many of them. Do you know anything about football if you think those goalposts hinder offense? Insanity. Okay, I'm done. Whew, I'm done. That bothered me. It bothered me a lot. Okay. Good thing I fired up the bonfire.
We got to talk. We got to talk more about. I like this Darrin rant. I think you make some good points. I have a couple of rebuttals, but I think what's more important is the soft zone. Okay, you hear soft zone all the time. The Bombers play too far off as a zone defense. Blah blah blah. What do you have to say when people talk about a soft zone, Darrin? I don't think you like it.
Well, what's the difference between a zone and a soft zone? Let me answer your question with a question. Tell me the difference between a zone and a soft zone. What makes it soft?
From what I understand, I always get a little bit nervous when you throw a question back at me. Maybe
I'll answer my own question.
Because I feel like you're stealing my thunder here.
You are a
therapist.
That's
what I do every day at work.
For those that don't know, Schnitzy is a licensed therapist. He's not Stuart Smalley. I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me.
No,
I watched that clip with him and Michael Jordan on SNL the other day. I showed that to my girlfriend for the first time. Oh my God. But you are a licensed therapist. I'll answer my own question. Okay? I'll answer my own question. You know what the difference between a zone and a soft zone is? A soft zone is one that gets beat. That's what makes it soft. It's a soft zone. They're playing this soft zone. No, they're playing a zone and it gets beat. Every team in the CFL plays zone defense. It is a fundamental strategy of defensive football. Period. You want to, like, the same fans that say soft zone will also say, we got to get more pressure on the opposing quarterback. Well, how do you get more pressure on the opposing quarterback? You got to send more players. Or you got to do some creative things, or send a halfback or a safety blitz, or like do different things, right? Twists and stunts and whatever. Send more bodies. Oh, they're only rushing 3. Oh, they're only rushing 4. Send a 5th, send a 6th. Guess what? You send another guy, you got to play zone defense. Otherwise, there are going to be uncovered receivers. Uncovered. You can't have players uncovered. That's what a zone defense is. You're playing less players, sometimes more, but often if you're sending more towards the quarterback, you're playing less in coverage against more receivers. You have to play zone. You have to.
Yeah.
I hope I broke that down in layman's terms enough for those out there that have no idea maybe what we're talking about.
The only thing I'd say about soft zone, my understanding, and this may be totally wrong, that soft zone was more preventative, right? Like if it's the end of a half, the end of a game, Hail Mary situation,
It was
or
a prevent defense.
you want to prevent a big play. You want to keep everything in front of you. So you typically drop back the cornerbacks and the safety pretty far back. So the other team's going to be able to catch everything underneath, and then you can come up and tackle them. That's what happened to Nick Dembski on the final play against Edmonton when they were down by 5.
Is that my
Instead
friend
of throwing
Amanda?
a Hail Mary.
Hi.
What's that?
Hi, Amanda. I think that's my friend Amanda.
Hey, Amanda.
Yeah.
Darrin doesn't have any friends. Come on. Just
Well,
kidding, Darrin. I'm your friend. You
it's
at least
Sunday,
have one.
and I'm preaching.
Does your girlfriend count? That you have 2. And your
She's
parents,
my best
I
friend.
don't know, 4.
She's my best friend.
Aw. She's great. Shout out to your girlfriend. I just want to say, like, so
I'll answer this question too, Wesley. Go ahead, Schnitz. Yeah.
Hail Mary situation, you kind of want a soft zone.
That's a deep zone. Deep. Let the underneath. You want 15, 20 yards? Cool. You're not getting 40.
But here's my thought, Darrin. Final thought on this soft zone thing. I think that Jordan Younger has sort of continued the tradition of Richie Hall. Richie Hall's defenses were always a bend but don't break defense, and his theory was, agree with it or don't. I don't know how you can argue with it necessarily, given the results that Richie Hall got. 2 Grey Cup wins, multiple playoff appearances. The idea was that he was banking on the fact that the CFL field is massive, and statistically, if you make a team dink and dunk down the field, which Ottawa was able to do tonight, give Jake Mayer credit. If you make a team dink and dunk all the way down the field, 70, 80, 90 yards, the idea is that on second down, there's going to be an incompletion. The quarterback's going to throw a bad ball. It's going to be batted down by Willie Jefferson. There's going to be a knockdown. There's going to be some kind of mix up in the play calling. Whatever it is, chances are they're not going to matriculate the ball all the way down and score a touchdown. And by and large, I think that's fairly true. That's why giving up explosive plays is not what you want. Right?
What was the word you just used? I'm sorry to interrupt.
Matriculate.
Matriculate.
Matriculate your way down the field.
Love it.
So there was a stat the other day, Darrin. You sent it because you send me all the stats packs, which is awesome. I love that stuff. There was a stat that when you get a big play in the CFL, which is on offense, which is 30-yard pass, 20-yard run, you are like 65% likely to score a touchdown. And so I think the philosophy there is don't allow explosives, then you're going to allow 0s, 1s, or 3s. Defensive coordinators love 0, 1s, or 3s no matter what. Even 3 points. I know it's a field goal, but 0, 1s, and 3s. This game is about touchdowns. And yeah, doesn't look sexy. It can be frustrating. It's like death by 1,000 cuts, but depending on the defensive coordinator, it can work. It can work.
It can. I was trying to pull up I was trying to pull up Jordan Younger's interview from this week, and I can't pull it up. I'm having trouble. But he was talking about the delicate balance in the CFL where you go big and then the other team's pass game has an advantage, and you go small, and that's to counter the other team's pass game, and they have an advantage in the run game. Schnitzy, here, hang on one sec. I just got to, I got to turn something off. I got a fan coming on here.
I'll carry the show. Don't worry, Darrin. Just
there we
like
go.
I
We're
usually
back.
do.
We're back.
Vicky, all I gotta say is, you're retired. You've got a big commute every home game. You don't want to be tossing around 20s like that, but I'll take it. I mean, or Darrin will take it.
Thanks, Vic.
I'll get it after taxes.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, Vicky.
Vicky says,
you are one of my. Go ahead.
Vicky says, I didn't have my lucky "it's all good" jersey on in the first half. Changed at halftime. That's why Winnipeg won. Thanks, Vicky. Very generous of you. Appreciate the super chat. All of you out there, appreciate all the super chats you give us. I think T. Konapali gave us $20 on the pregame show yesterday and said he would give 50 if Walby threw me in the lake. I don't know if Walby didn't see that during the show. I told him later, and he said I would never do that. I would never do that.
I do want to just shout out Vicky, not just because of the super chat. She's a real one, as they say. Vicky's great. She's a diehard. Drives all the way in from out of town. I won't say where you live, Vic, unless you want to share that. I think that's called dox. What's it called when you tell everybody in public where somebody lives? Is that doxing?
Doxing, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to dox Vicky.
It's like, here's your phone number and your address and where you work, and yeah.
But Vicky is also a veteran of the 1930 crew.
Roy,
this will be her third year.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff, Vicky. I love seeing you at games and at events and stuff. You're one of the good ones.
Wesley's saying, why are there so many wide open catches? Look, I watch every game in the CFL. Every year I do my best, and every year I get better at allocating my time and making time to watch those games. Having an amazing best friend helps a lot. And what I see is this year, the CFL is off the charts. Okay. Quarterbacks are, in your words, Schnitzy, dicing up defenses. But every single game has, oh, how did he get so wide open? Oh, look, both of these teams, it's not just the Bombers. I see good defenses. I see very good defenses, and I see some not so good defenses. They all get beat. They are all susceptible to catches in space. Fans need to understand the CFL field, like, yeah, it's 12 on 12 instead of 11 on 11, but the field is 15 yards wider, almost 15 yards wider than the NFL field. It is huge out there. In short, this is how I would describe it. The NFL pass game is about timing. The CFL pass game is about space. Paul LaPolice's offenses, I watched those so much through all of those years. The Paul LaPolice school to Buck Pierce, it's definitely different now. Jason Hogan and Tommy Condell, both very different from the Paul LaPolice school, the Buck Pierce school. But I watched those a lot through those glory years of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and all those Grey Cup appearances. And they are all about getting the ball into a receiver's hands in space, both in the backfield and downfield. Different layers, right? I don't want anybody to think like, oh, Darrin's an expert. I'm not an expert, but I watch a lot of football and I talk to a lot of experts. And there's some things they say I have no idea what they're talking about, but I do know kind of the core.
Not to sound like Larry David or Jerry Seinfeld, but I think that makes you an expert. You're an expert.
Larry.
You're an expert, Darrin.
It does sound like Larry. That does sound like Larry. But I'm not. I'm expert adjacent.
Oh, wow.
because I talked to
Wide
them.
to the right, right there. I had a juicy wide to the right for tonight. Expert
I
adjacent.
thought you would like a Larry comment
I
back, you know?
love that. Do you
Expert
respect Wood?
adjacent.
Do you respect Wood? Expert adjacent. Wow.
You're writing
That
that
should be an
down? Oh my
award.
goodness. Oh
That
my
should be an
goodness.
award
Yeah.
every night. I think Ryan Friesen is also expert adjacent. There you go.
Yeah.
Friesen's expert adjacent. Not just kidding. You're an expert.
Yeah.
Townend, he's an expert.
Where was I?
I have no idea,
Finding
man.
you try to get the ball into the receiver's hands in space, right? That's what it's all about. So zone defense and man defense, there's times and places for it all. And you see it at different times. It all depends. It all depends. You know, I would say there are more zone snaps than there are man snaps league wide. If somebody out there tell me I'm wrong, I'll take it. I'll be wrong. That's my feeling from watching games. It's hard watching games. We don't get to see the all 24. They stick the camera on the quarterback and you don't see what's happening downfield. It's hard. You know, like there's people in the live chat saying like, you know, is there less cover zero, meaning no safety? I don't know. I do know that when Jake Kelly gets an interception in the back of the end zone and there's no receiver in sight, Jake Mayer just floated that up to him. That's definitely not cover zero because the safety is back there by himself and there's no receiver there. That's zone defense. That's a variety of different cover, but it's not cover zero. I think to the layman, to the majority of fans out there, and God bless them. I feel like you're my people. You are my people. You're who Schnitzy and I and Walby and I do the show for, right? We try to bring some insight and all those sorts of things. Sorry, my best friend just texted me. I got distracted there. And I think for the average football fan, when we don't get to see what's happening downfield and then there's a throw and a receiver's in space, I mean, there's double moves, there's good scheme, there's the waggle. There are guys getting beat because of speed or because of a great footwork or crisp route running or those sorts of things. Picks, just like in basketball, like running off of another receiver, off of a defender, off of the goalpost to create space. All these things you do to create space, crossing routes, scissor routes, all these different things, digs and cuts and ins. And while they're blitzing their linebackers, let's do a drag across, dragging a receiver across to the middle. All these things you try to do. Schnitzy, you and I've talked about it. It's 3D chess. It's 4D chess. There's so much going on. It's hard for the average. It's hard for the average guy or gal or whomever to know what's going on.
Yeah,
it's really hard.
And also, I just to put a bow on this chat, because I do want to. I want to talk about Willie Jefferson, but
Randy,
like,
I know it's bad.
Yeah. Even though it's Jake Mayer, even though it's Ottawa, they far exceeded their previous high outputs in games the Ottawa offense did. This year is so bizarre in terms of efficiency by quarterbacks. And yeah, it doesn't look good. Doesn't feel good to watch, but this is the year where quarterbacks are playing at an unprecedented level. So even maybe the worst quarterback in the league, is going to make some hay at times. Not excusing the Winnipeg defense, but Darrin, should we get to Walby's Warrior? Because I think that aligns perfectly with who we want to talk about here.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but
I will take this comment from Scorp 3127 and segue it into that. Scorp says playing defensive back is the hardest position on the field, hands down. Amen. I'm honored to be a Football Reporters of Canada voter and also one of the voters for the CFL top 50 players, I stack my top 10 with like, it was essentially Nathan Rourke, Davis Alexander, Bo, and then defensive backs. I think I had Brady, and I think I didn't have Bo in my top 10. I had Rourke and Alexander. I had Brady. I think I had Brady at 11. But I mean, it's Tyrese Beverette. It's Adarius Pickett. It's Derek Moncrief. It's it's those DBs. Those DBs play the hardest position on the field. They don't get any love. I stack the top of my ballot with those DBs. They deserve so much more love. And that's why I'm giving a Wallabies Warrior to Evan Holm. What a huge play in overtime. Huge.
Yeah, that was crazy. I think you also like DBs because you are a DB. Darrin Bauming, right?
Well, I was a receiver. I hated DBs when I played football. Hated them.
Feels like there's a lot of DB though. Danielle Bain in the sports world.
Yeah.
Sports media.
And her nickname is DB. And now she comes to Winnipeg and
What?
we fight over it. We fight over it, her and I.
Oh my goodness.
She's so
my
great.
goodness.
Huge fan of Danielle.
There's another DB I was thinking of, but I forget. I'll think about it.
Yeah.
Willie, like my Wallabies Warrior goes to Willie Jefferson. You know, you could say, oh, Willie didn't jump off the page in terms of making a game-sealing knockdown or huge interception. And he only has one defensive stat. Or I guess three actually, because he had a defensive tackle and he had a quarterback sack.
Oh, this play was off the charts.
I just think and Reese jumped off the page, by the way, at the beginning of the game, but the resurgence that Willie has had this year, Darrin, is really quite something. And that's where the Warrior part of Wallabies Warrior comes in for me. It's not necessarily making the sexiest plays all the time, although he often does.
Hey.
It's the fact that you know, maybe some people gave up on Willie like they did on Pat Neufeld or Stanley Bryant. Maybe we should get to Stanley Bryant later.
Notice the goalpost on this play? Notice how they're running around the goalpost? Anybody else notice that? That's what made this play from Evan Holm so impressive. The receiver's using the goalpost. Watch.
It's an extra defender, yeah.
Yeah.
But Willie he was just so disruptive. He would have had another sack for a huge loss had he not been obviously held in the first half. But just the resurgence of Willie Jefferson has been absolutely fantastic. I think he's now tied with Jake Ceresna with 4 sacks on this team.
Mm-hmm. Last year, the Bombers' leading sack total was Vaughn.
James Vaughters.
Sorry, James Vaughters. I don't know why I said Vaughn.
It
was 6. James Vaughters with 6.
Yeah.
And we're a third into the season. Exactly right now, week 7, 1 bye week. And he's got 4.
And he had the knockdown tonight. And he had the knockdown. So yeah, Willie's just all he needed was another Jackson Jeffcoat type talent. Like, you know, he's got Jake Ceresna now. This Reese guy might be a player. I mean, he had a massive sack in the first half and knockdown, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about that for Willie J? Only player in CFL history with 80 quarterback sacks and 80 pass knockdowns. Last year, no, it was late the year before. It was 75 and 75. Now it's 80 and 80. This guy, it's just not going to stop. It's not going to stop. Willie J is going to keep going and going and going. I was talking to Jordan Younger about it this week. He goes, there's lots of guys, like I was talking about being ageless and still being an impact and all these things. I've said it on the show a million times. I don't care how old Willie J is. Is he 30? Is he 35? Is he 38? I don't know. I don't care. Look at him play. And in talking to Jordan Younger this week about that, you know, being ageless and being, he hasn't missed a day at training camp since he's been a Winnipeg Blue Bomber. Think about that. He hasn't missed a day at camp. Doesn't miss games.
Wow.
Always
That's
healthy.
something.
And Jordan Younger says it's his work ethic. He puts in the work. He's one of those guys that just like look at him, okay? Like he has these physical gifts, but you don't come out of the womb chiseled like that. You might come out of that womb with the ability to be chiseled like that, but you still got to go to the gym. You might come out of the womb, you know, with arms that long, well, you know, 20 years after coming out, with arms that long and with that speed, but to be able to do it as long as Willie J has, and how effectively he's been able to do it at such a high level, it's his work. And in the words of Jordan Younger, it's gifts. He has gifts that a lot of pro football players, guys that are in the Hall of Fame, Willie J has gifts that those guys don't have. He is beyond special. I can't say it enough. Willie J, special guy.
That's well said. I hate to punctuate it with a joke, but Kelsey Eliason on chat says Willie J resurgence is named Jake Seresna. Love that, but I don't think that's fully true. Way to go,
there's
Willie!
a lot
He
of
gets our warrior.
I think there's a lot of credence. I'd give a lot of credence to that.
Oh, I think that's why he's been able to dominate again, for sure, for sure.
See, no wonder Friesen likes this show so much. It's because we're on the same page. Friesen says
go.
Willie J is the best player in CFL history to do everything he does, plus gets fans of all fan bases to interact and feel part of the CFL experience. Yeah. Basically the face of the CFL. Joey Slats in the chat. We're going to get to some of those things right away. Oh, I like that. Jeffrey Townend, call him Special J. I like that.
Special J.
Curbs mentioning that he's also a good dude. Ran into Willie helping coach the U18 showcase this spring.
Awesome, dude.
Shout out to the Canada Cup, U19 national championships, provincial teams vying for the Canada Cup in Winnipeg this week at Princess Auto Stadium and at Maple Grove Rugby Park, the home of the St. Vital Mustangs and Winnipeg Rifles. Okay, Schnitzy, I want to start with something awful, and then we'll try to segue into something very cool. But an absolutely heartbreaking situation that news broke today of a tragic situation that happened last night that affects so many people in the CFL community. I'm just going to play Rod Smith and Glenn Suter and TSN's package of this, and hopefully we can hear.
We also want to offer our thoughts for just the heartbreaking news today. Word coming from the Saskatchewan Roughriders of the passing of linebacker Jayden Dalkey in a car accident killed last night at the age of 30. I think of him and I look at his career suits and I just think just the prototypical Canadian football player. Leduc, Alberta, and then goes on to play junior in Edmonton and then the University of Alberta and then gets drafted by the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Just a heartbreaking story.
Fantastic family, outstanding football player. I mean, a guy that Coach Mace had said with his versatility, there's not a position that he can't play on the field, and his intensity and what a great teammate that Jayden Dalkey was, and that's what I think was emphasized more. He just came off the injury list recently and talked about how much he missed playing with his teammates, and that his teammates, he just loved them, and we're going to miss him. We're here.
Absolutely heartbreaking news. The CFL lost a great young man, 30 years old, Jayden Dalkey, passed in an auto accident 31 kilometers northwest of Regina on Saturday. Horrible. Hate seeing this stuff. It reminds me, and I'm getting a little bit choked up right now because it reminds me of the Humboldt bus crash years ago, and I lost a good friend in that crash. This is heartbreaking. It's awful. Yeah. Yeah. Really not much more you can say about it. Rest in power. Schnitzy, it's really hard to segue off of that. But I do want to talk about a very cool thing that happened in Winnipeg today, away from football. And one of the reasons why Evan Doyle, Bonfire Sports, was huge today in cutting clips of the game. I was trying to watch some of the Bomber game while calling the Winnipeg Seabears game. Teddy Allen, who everybody knows is the superstar on the Winnipeg Seabears, guy went off today. 9 3-pointers, huge win for Winnipeg to improve to 8-1 at home this year and back in first place in the West Conference and in the CEBL. He broke the single season scoring record, and this is game 20. Okay. The CEBL expanded from 20 to 24 games last year, and it was I don't know if I have that piece of paper here with those numbers, so forgive me. I might have to pull up my tweet and find those numbers, but
What are you going to pull out?
The numbers. A tweet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What'd you think I said?
I don't want to say.
So Teddy Allen here, you know what? I'll show the tweet maybe here, but Teddy Allen broke the single season scoring record. He's got he entered with 335, or I'll find the number. Forgive me, but broke the single season scoring record. And Teddy Allen also broke the single game scoring record. He had the Seabears record of 43. The CEBL record was 45. The single game record was 46. Here it is. Jalen Harris had 46. Teddy Allen had 54 at Canada Life Center tonight. The Den, the Seabears Den, as it's affectionately referred. 54 points, 9 3-pointers, went off. And then he broke the single season scoring record. He has 589 and counting. The previous record, Sean East II, had 546 last year in 24 games. Teddy Allen did it and shattered it. He's at 589 and counting in 20 games. There's still 4 games to play.
Oh.
Yeah. Jay Boydano, I would pull up that comment, but it's got a little bit of Walby language in it, so I won't. But essentially saying when it was 29-9, turned the TV off and didn't expect what we saw. Yeah, it was absolutely bonkers. Both of these games, both in Ottawa for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and then at the Den. Here's Teddy Allen getting interviewed by Tegan Rache on the CEBL broadcast. It was a crazy night. Crazy night for basketball. Crazy night for football too, Schnitzy. Nuts.
And while Slats is on there, we got to give a shout out to his show with the Winnipeg Free Press's own Taylor Allen, the Target Score podcast. It's also on YouTube.
I popped on the pregame with him yesterday.
Nice.
Oh no, 2 days ago. Yeah.
Nice. Are you also expert adjacent in basketball or what?
I guess I am because I sit courtside.
There you go.
I sit courtside.
There you go.
Yeah.
Should we do wide to the right? Happy honker. Where do you want to go?
Let's do it. Who do you got?
Wide to the right is Tommy Neild. I mean, you could argue that it was the draft pick Boulain who roughed Noah Getman, the kicker, but those are, I don't know, Darren. Like I've never played football, and I certainly have never played special teams. But when you're rushing the kicker or the punter, it must be tough to pull up if you miss the ball. Like if he touches the ball, even grazes the ball with a fingertip, he can take out the kicker, right? But man, that's tough. So I'm not gonna give it to Boulin. Tommy Neal, though we talked about him, I think he's my wide to the right. He
Okay.
he yeah he wiped out a cup. I think one of his penalties wiped out the Bombers being first and goal at the 3, so probably a touchdown. And that's when they were
Yeah.
second and 25.
Mhm.
And then that catch he dropped, it would have been a 27-yarder.
Would have been a
Um,
touchdown.
yeah,
Oh no, you're
that
talking
that
the other
one.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, he dropped.
Couple
Yes, he
bad
dropped
drops.
one in the end zone, and then he
Yeah.
dropped another 27-yarder that on second down would have moved the chains. So I do think Neal needs to lock it down a little bit. I think he's a good receiver. I saw people in the chat talking about him. I think there's a higher ceiling than what we've seen, but he's got to clean that stuff up.
Yeah. I don't know if I have a wide to the right today. Tyler J.R. Harper's maybe giving me the wide to the right today. Good to see you in the live chat, Tyler.
Ooh.
DB says, last week I teased info about the rule changes not happening in 27, but never actually said anything. You can go back and watch. For those that don't remember, it was early in the show last week, the post-game show. I'm simply said I had a conversation with somebody and heard some rumblings that the league is having some second thoughts. I'm not saying that they're not happening. I'm saying that they're like, maybe we shouldn't tweak this or change that, or maybe we, is it too late to? I'm just saying they're having some second thoughts. That's the rumblings. So when a
Yeah.
reporter doesn't say anything, but they said something, that's kind of all it is. You can't say it, oh, this is what's happening. Like, it's just rumblings.
Can I just say one thing about
A little
Stu?
color. Yep.
Stu, I mean, next year, let's just talk about everything that's happened so far. Has he whiffed on anything? And I know it's not just him, it's the rules committee, it's the board of governors. 35-second clock has been an absolute home run, Darren. More offensive plays, more scoring. Quarterbacks are
Games are
playing better
quicker.
than ever.
Games are
Games are
way
quicker.
quicker.
And that first quarter today, it seemed like it took 20 minutes. It was insane. It was
Yeah.
great. The 2-point conversion thing, I think that was an absolute hit. I mean, what entertainment tonight. Getting rid of ties? Like, who likes a tie? This was an amazing ending to the game.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah.
The
Agreed.
the obvious players being on opposite sides of the field, the obvious that was like a low-hanging fruit. The media deal with DAZN, with TSN, with YouTube, absolute home run.
Well, we'll see.
The Rouge has been a home run to me. The Rouge rules this year, I love it. It's a great. Oh, look at that.
Some post-game visuals.
Yeah.
Here's
I
Reddit
mean,
Cramdy. Here's
yeah.
Willie J. Here's Tony Jones. Here's Dietrich Nichols. Who else do we see? There's Newer Gatkuth. I think this is Jam Sheehan back here. Yeah, not sure who this coach is, but
I mean,
that's
look
one
at
thing.
the joy
There's
on
Jake
that team.
Kelly.
These are great pictures. Where'd you get these? Was this
These
the
are on
Bombers
the
website?
Blue Bombers Twitter. There's Jason Hogan.
What a
There's Drew Brown,
great
of course.
pictures. Yeah.
Right. What I've learned about football is a lot of the times there's Jake Kelly. A lot of times people don't realize, like, they wouldn't recognize a lot of these players, their favorite players, if they were like in the grocery store, because they wear a helmet and a mask. Like, they wouldn't recognize them. You know what I mean? Here's Ethan Stewart on the
Oh,
right.
that's who that. I was wondering who that was.
There's Newer
Yes.
Gatkuth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fletcher. The new defensive tackle,
Yes.
Fletcher.
Yeah.
He had some flashes, although he had the grade 2 roughing the passer, which
we could look at those too.
Yeah.
We could look at those.
Do you have a happy honker though, Darren?
I'm giving it to Jake Kelly.
Okay.
I'm giving it to Jake Kelly. That was a nice interception, nice play. And he is a young frickin' dude on this team, man. Great photo of him here. Big ups to Jake Kelly and his family, if you're watching. Awesome moment. Somebody giving him his well-deserved props following the game. Yeah, that's my happy honker.
And I in an unprecedented move, I'm going to just let you have that one, Darren. I don't have anything better. I'll echo that with Jake Kelly.
Okay.
Canadian out of Markham, Ontario. Went to Bishops. 27 years old, right? In his prime.
The
Great on
Gators.
special teams. He and I wrote this down. He and I believe Major Williams, they had that great knockdown in I think it was an OT. So he had a good game. Probably his best game ever as a Bomber, I have to be honest with you. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I have to say one more shout out tonight. He's not going to get a game ball or any awards or anything, but he's kind of an unsung hero on this team on specials, on kick coverage. And again, Bombers have the best kick coverage in the CFL, playing against maybe the number 2 returner in the CFL in Pimpleton, who it's kind of like Ottawa's silver bullet. If they were going to win this game, I thought he would have had to got off. But true to form, the cover teams of the Bombers were great against an elite returner. And one of the best special teams tackles I have ever seen. With about 1 minute left, Bombers kick it back to Ottawa. And it's perfect just after they tied on the Wilson touchdown. And I'm thinking, there's a minute left. Sheehan is booting it back to Khalil Pimpleton. And they could go in for the winning field goal, Darren. And Michael Ayers, I think is the gunner the first guy down on punt cover, kick cover? Is that the gunner?
Well, the gunner is the guys on the outside. Generally, they're kind of that wide receiver spot, if you will, on kick cover teams. They just, they try to just get an edge and gun for the returner. They're usually on the outside, not always.
Okay. So I'm not sure if I don't know if he was just, Michael Ayers was the first guy down the field, Darren. Number 54 for the Bombers. I mean, man. 6'2", 226, sprinting down the field. He is the first guy to get to Pimpleton, and he plows him into the turf. No return. In the CFL, a play like that is absolutely massive. And the skill it takes, the timing it takes, you have to have the perfect angle. If he misses on that, Pimpleton is in space. You cannot miss on that.
Mm-hmm.
And he just squared him up perfectly. I love that play from Michael Ayers. Just wanted to give him a shout out. I think he's number 54. By the way, go ahead.
Showed the Fletcher sack. Here's the Fletcher roughing the passer. You were saying, Schnitzy?
Yeah, Michael Ayers 49. Sorry. I was forgetting what I was going to say here. Man. Michael Ayers, unsung hero. I don't know, Darren. I forget.
He is a beast on special teams.
I was gonna walk something back. I said no 0-6 team has ever made the playoffs, but that is not true. I just saw a tweet out here. I just retweeted it a few minutes ago.
Well, just remember the 2011 BC Lions were 1-5.
Then 1-6.
Ottawa, very close to that tonight. Very close to that.
Oh, 3 Down Nations. JC Abbott
Mhm.
1969 BC Lions are the only team in CFL history to start 0-6 and reach the playoffs. They fired their head coach and finished 5-11 to sneak in. And I think I'm pretty sure they lost in the first playoff game. But yeah.
Can I say something? I know I was thinking about driving home from the Seabears game. I was watching a lot of the, watching a good amount of the Bombers game at the arena before leaving, and Winnipeg had those goal line stands. We talk about Winnipeg special teams, and you think field goal, punt, kick cover, kick return, punt return, right? I don't think people think about goal line, short yardage, offense, defense. Those are special teams. They really are. I think I don't know how many people would even call them special teams. I think they're special teams. You bring in specialists. You bring in the jumbo package for your short yardage. You bring in your short yardage quarterback. That's like bringing in your kicker, right? And same on defense. When you go goal line, sometimes you'll take out, they'll take out Jake Kelly and they'll bring in, another linebacker. They'll bring in, Tanner Cadwallader. Those are special teams. Winnipeg's short yardage. Yeah, I know Bryce Perkins got stuffed today on Winnipeg's first possession. But Winnipeg's short yardage offense, short yardage defense, they're also incredible. So good. Talk about Trey Vavel. Talk about those killers on kick cover, punt cover. Winnipeg is a special teams born and bred franchise, right? Wade Miller, Mike O'Shea, Kyle Walters, all the way down, Mike Miller. But the reality is it goes beyond those kick, punt, kick return, punt return, field goal teams. They are very good at everything specialized in the game. And I think that's one of the reasons why they pull out wins when maybe they're not the better team.
Mm-hmm. By the way, I was just thinking, Darrin, this is 2 years in a row where the Bombers have won just one of the unlikeliest wins that I can remember. Both games in Ottawa. Last year, you'll remember Strevler's 3 completions for 54-yard masterpiece against Drew Brown in Ottawa, who threw for over 400.
Masterpiece.
And the 128-yard missed field goal return. Yes, I know that we can't get rid of that. I don't know about these about these goalposts, but anyway, maybe if Stuart Johnston didn't hit the goalpost in that possibly made up story he told when he was a young quarterback, this wouldn't be happening. But
butterfly effect.
I mean, I actually like Stuart Johnston. I think he's good for the league. He's mixing things up. That was a bad way to start that one. But what was I even gonna say? Last year. Yeah, so the Bombers win that game, a game that like you should never win, and then tonight they win another weird one where they arguably shouldn't have won. So something's up in Ottawa. Something is weird in Ottawa. I don't know. But where are we at? We have the game balls here.
We got game
balls.
Yeah, I was just showing this touchdown drive capped by Ontario Wilson.
I thought that ball hit the ground on one of the angles.
That's like, touchdown,
the angle from the other side. I don't know.
This one.
I'm glad it did. I'm glad they called it a touchdown.
100% a touchdown. He caught that. Okay. His feet were in. He was not down yet. Prickfetti has a I'm not even gonna say it, but Prickfetti has game ball to the entire defense. I like this comment from Kelsey. Every team is a special team to their moms.
Every team is.
Sometimes it's the ridiculousness that helps you get through the day.
I don't even understand that.
Every team is a special team.
Hey, can we just before we get to our game balls and wrap this, Darren, we got to say one thing. Okay, I'm a little bit disappointed. I don't know if I'm disappointed in Condell or the Bombers O line, but they come into this game on the road against the Ottawa RedBlacks are 0-5, and Ottawa gives up by more than 20 points, 20 yards, the most rush yards in the CFL. Now, some of that could be because they were so poor and they were down by a lot, so teams would try and close out the game running the ball.
Mm-hmm.
But man, what a perfect opportunity against an 0-5 team to get your very highly paid elite running back going in Brady Oliveira. And he had 7 carries and 1 catch. Now, I don't think it's black and white. I mean, sometimes the way a particular defense plays or just, they'll load the box. We've talked about loading the box, but sometimes you run anyway, whatever. The Bombers I thought they had an opportunity to get the run game going tonight, and they didn't. I know they got behind by 17, but early in the game, even Darren, one of the things I've been doing lately is counting how many times the Bombers run on first down under Tommy Condell. But even when the game was in the balance, they were throwing a lot on first down,
and that's
I'm
why I
not
loved
saying
the run to start overtime.
But I guess my point is like I don't necessarily think that's on Condell, because when they were running it on first down, they were getting nothing. They were lucky to get 3.5, 4 yards. And if that's all you're getting on first down, every single first down, and then you get down by 17, I mean, you're going to abandon the run. Anybody does. They've tried Michael Chris Ike, you have him on the stats. They've tried him a couple times to mix things up. And as fast as that guy is, that hasn't worked. I wonder if it's the offensive line, because you even go to short yardage. Now, Bryce Perkins, you could say, "Oh man, that was a horrible turnover on short yardage."
Well,
He'd been 20 for 20 up to that point, and on that turnover on short yardage, first of the year for the Bombers, they didn't get enough push from the offensive line. And time again, particularly last game against Toronto, Perkins was not getting help by that offensive line, and he only made the first down because of his lower leg strength, the relentless push of his own. You can't
wait a minute. You're discounting
expect.
the O-line on short yardage?
I'm not discounting. I'm saying it seems like the O-line maybe hasn't done quite enough on short yardage, because they were perfect up to this point in spite of some of their lack of push that I was noticing. And there wasn't a great push for Perkins today in the first quarter in that turnover, and he tried his best, but I can't put that on Perkins. And I'm just saying, together with the short yardage gaff and then the lack of
You're not going to be
production by
perfect.
Brady.
You're not going to be perfect on the wedge for a whole season.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying,
This is
take
the
it
one
together with
time.
the lack of run production. When the game was in the balance, they couldn't get the run game going. And that's a bit concerning if you're a Bombers fan.
When the game was in the balance, do you mean the fourth quarter?
No, I'm talking about not well said by me. You're down 17, the game's not in the balance, you're not running the football. But when the game was close, that's what I mean. When it was tied, when Ottawa was up by 3, when Ottawa was up by, 1 score, Darren, you still can run the football. And the Bombers just weren't getting good production. I think that 20-yard gain by Brady in overtime that you talked about makes Brady's game look passable. And I'm not saying it's all on Brady.
20-yard run.
I don't know if there were any holes there.
Yeah. It
If he
definitely
doesn't have that
helped his
20-yard
average.
run,
Yeah. You
if he
take
doesn't
that
have
run
that
away,
20-yard
he had
run,
9 carries for 28 yards, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
That would have been one of his worst games ever
But
as a starting running back.
this is all I'm saying. This is one game. I don't like making grand proclamations about
Who made a
The
grand
O-line,
proclamation?
the O-line needs to do more because tonight Brady couldn't get going. One game does not a story tell. One game. You don't know what like the game plan, what Winnipeg wanted to do,
It's not
what
one game,
Ottawa
though,
wanted to do.
Darren.
Hey,
It's not one game. I'm saying this game highlighted the problem, but you can't tell me that Winnipeg has been able to run the ball with the same authority and efficiency that they have in years past. They just aren't, and some of that's Condell's play calling, but some of that is just they haven't been able to get the production. And I think some of that's the
Brady
O-line.
Oliveira is averaging 5.4 yards per carry in 2026.
Which is
I don't know what you mean.
well,
I don't know what you mean.
that's a good point. I don't know what to say to that, but all I know is that Winnipeg rushing yards is less than 100 yards per game, and it's fifth in the CFL coming into this week, which is
5.9 MOP caliber year, 5.7 MOP winning year, 5.8 MOP caliber year, 5.4 this year, right? I mean, you're 5.5 yards per carry.
Oh, that's a good average. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, so I'm not really.
Why don't they have very many rush yards? Is it because of play calling then?
I think it's because they have, Tommy Condell throws the ball more, right? But Brady's got a good average. This offense is going to look different than it did under Lapo and Buck and Jason Hogan, right? Tommy Condell runs the ball predominantly less than other offensive coordinators. He's never had a top 3 rushing offense. Never in his career as a play caller, offensive coordinator in the CFL.
He's also never had Brady Oliveira.
That's right. But when they run it, they're still good at it. I don't see it as a problem. I feel like your argument is kind of based on today.
No, it's based over. I think I'm not pressing the panic, but I'm not making a blanket statement. It's just something that's raised my eyebrow that when the run game, which is your bread and butter, you're paying a guy $300,000. There's some football pundits who say they shouldn't even pay. You should just have a rookie running back. Who cares about the run game?
So here's Brady's game by game in 2026. 15 carries, 113 yards, 7.5, 8 for 32 against Hamilton, 13 for 77 and 6 yards per carry against Edmonton, 17 for 84. Like, they're running the ball a lot these last 3 weeks and didn't run it much against Hamilton and Ottawa. That's it. But 15 for 113, 13 for 77, 17, 13 for 77 doesn't sound like a lot. That's 6 yards a carry. 17 for 84, 5 yards per, like maybe these averages aren't great, but
and maybe
nearly 20, Darren? Right? And then receiving, he's only got 1 catch in each of the last 3 games.
I guess I was just a bit surprised, especially tonight. And the reason is, like I said, Ottawa gives up the most run yards per game. And they had their best linebacker out in Niles Morgan. So I just thought this would have been a game where the Bombers could make a little bit of hay. But anyway, let's you make some good points. For this, we'll talk further. We'll talk further.
I like that. So I gave my Walby's Warrior to Jake Kelly. I'll give a game ball to Michael Griffin III. And I'll give a game ball to Evan Holm. Really like those games. Yeah. Really like those games. I thought the Bombers defense did some great things today. People will, and Schnitzy, you included, you'll talk about Jake Mayer and the numbers he put up today. As well, maybe the defense wasn't so great. To me, Holm made a huge play. Jake Kelly made a huge play. Michael Fletcher took penalties, but then he also made some huge plays. Willie J made some huge plays. The goal line stand, the interception in the end zone, the goal line stand, like Kyrie Wilson and Tony Jones. We talked, we showed those clips earlier and talked about them. I really liked Winnipeg's defense today, regardless of what Jake Maier did, because you might say, well, they put up a lot of yards. Like you'd say, they got diced by their standards. By Winnipeg standards, they got diced. I thought Winnipeg made plays when they needed to make plays. I value playmaking highly because I think it offsets yards against. But here's Jake Maier's numbers today. 75%, 344 yards, touchdown, pick, quarterback efficiency rating under 100. They got 4.6 yards per carry out of their bell cow, Greg Bell, pun intended. Barnes was able to do what he does in the short yardage. Eberhardt, 92 yards, Pimpleton, 101 yards. Pimpleton also converted 3 second downs. So did Hardy. That's what he does and why he gets paid what he does, because Hardy just converts. Despite that, I thought Winnipeg's defense played excellent. Really liked their game. 93 rushing yards from Ottawa. That's a big number, but 27.
Yeah, especially for Ottawa.
Yeah. I know this gets slanted by short yardage situations where they're, picking up first downs on 2nd and 1 or 3rd and 1 or whatever. But 344 pass yards, it's kind of a big number. But overall, 420 in net offense and settling for a lot of field goals and turning the ball over. I liked Winnipeg's defense today.
Absolutely. Well said, DB. And then, we know how important turnovers are in the game, right? And they cause, what do they cause? 3 turnovers?
It was officially,
I think it was 3.
It was officially 2. Maybe I'll refresh this page and they've changed.
Oh, you're right. It's 2. You're right. It was 2. It was the Kelly pick and then the goal line stand.
And Winnipeg had 1 turnover. I don't know if they included the turnover on downs to end the second quarter.
They didn't, thankfully, because that shouldn't be.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, defense. You know what? Well said about the defense. I don't think just to add some variety here. I do want to give a game ball to Nick Dembski, Darren. I think with the additions of Tim White and Tommy Neild, I think people were sort of not writing the obituary of Nick Dembski, but just saying like, yeah, it's time for Nick Dembski. Just enjoy the back half of your career. You're gonna be like a 3rd or 4th receiver on this team now.
A supporting player.
Wilson's back. Yeah, last year with all the injuries, especially to Schoen, Nick Dembski had to shoulder the load as the number 1 receiver, and a lot of people said, well, that's not a number 1 receiver, blah, blah, blah. Nick Dembski, just from a betting perspective, is crushing the overs this year, Darren.
Yeah.
If you like betting on CFL, hit the Nick Dembski overs. He had 90 yards tonight, some key second downs. This guy's still playing at an extremely high level. 5 of 6 catches, 90 yards, a large 26. He has the 1 touchdown, 2 second down conversions. This guy's killing it.
Yeah.
Like I think Tommy Neild was supposed to come in and maybe take the reins from Dembski a little bit here. Dembski is not giving up the reins. He is still solidly the number 3 receiver on this team.
It's like every game.
Ontario Wilson, Tim White, Nick Dembski, and Dembski can easily go off and be your number 1 on any given night, but maybe not every night. But Nick Dembski's killing it this year.
Catching 5 balls and averaging 18 yards per catch. It seems like every game he's got multiple second down conversions. He's a lot like Justin Hardy, just a second down conversion machine. I really like that call from you, Schnitzy. Well done.
Yeah,
He had one of those
like
converts too in overtime, didn't he?
Ontario. No, I don't think so, because I think Ontario Wilson had the first one, and then it was Cobb.
It was Winnipeg's second possession. I got it here. Here we go. Here we go. Shout out Evan Doyle once again. Cutting these clips.
Yeah, Evan Doyle. ED.
First play of Winnipeg's second overtime possession. Big catch here from Nick Dembski. 19 yards. Steps out of bounds. Really nice. Yeah. And I'll let this roll too, because there was a near interception on the next play. But
I just wanted to tell folks about Nick Dembski's stats to date in 2026. So again, a guy maybe we were expecting a bit of a fall off. What did he have? 3 straight 1,000-yard seasons, Darren? Now he's
Tim White?
I think he's looking for his no, Nick Dembski.
Oh,
I think he's
don't
had
know about that.
three straight.
Does he?
I think he's going for 4th, and I think he's going up the record books for Canadian receivers in the 1,000-yard season. I have to look that up.
3 straight 1,000-yard seasons? Is that right?
Am I making that up?
Tim White has
AI
3.
that.
Tim White has 3 straight.
Oh, I'm thinking of Tim White.
Yeah.
What about? I thought Nick Dembski. Hold on. I'll look. Let me see here. Sorry guys, this is bad entertainment.
I'm trying to pull up his.
Let me look it up here while you guys are just sitting there at 11 p.m. on a Sunday night. Oh yeah, no, I'm right. 2023 1,006, 2024 1,030, 2025 1,001.
You're right.
I think he might, if he gets it, I think he might be the first Canadian receiver to have a 4 straight.
So this is your receiving yards here. I just want to make sure people can see it. This is your receiving yards right here in the middle of your screen. So in 2023, 1,006, as you said, 1,030, 1,001 last year, and 400 through 6 games. So that's 1,200 yard pace.
Yards.
Yeah. He's on pace for his best year yet.
Yeah.
Yak yards. His yak yards are kind of down. He'd be on pace for, 2,700 or 270, 280. Yeah. Big ups to Tyrell 204 with the super chat, $6.99. Says,
hey, thank you.
Ty says, great show as always. Such a Bombers type of win. Was wondering if the tarps off co-hosting would continue. Not sure if I'm happy or sad it didn't. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. We'll be with the tarps off yesterday.
Okay. According to AI, I don't know how accurate this is, folks. Brad Sinopoli, former Stamps player and RedBlacks player, Heck Crichton winner, quarterback turned receiver, had 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons.
Okay.
From 2015 to 2018. So
okay,
there you go. So Dembski's on pace, man. So he gets one of my game balls. Who else gets a game ball? I mean, should I just give one game ball? I don't know. Darren, I'm just looking here. I mean, Tim White maybe had one of his best games as a Bomber so far.
How about this, Schnitzy? Don't look at the stats. Think of players that made plays.
Yeah. That's probably right, but that,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know right now. I can't. I just the last thing I think, and maybe this is for next week. Are you concerned about Stanley Bryant's play? Takes 2 holding penalties. I've heard a lot of people say he's maybe struggling more than ever this year. He's 40.
Yeah. It's absolutely relevant concern just based on his age and the fact that they signed Jarrell Broxton for a reason. Schnitzy, I'm going to play Mike O'Shea, his comments following this 36-34 quadruple overtime win in Ottawa.
Obviously.
Yeah, it's a win. So we'll just take it as that. Like we do, stick to the process. Hopefully the players enjoy themselves tonight and get back to work tomorrow. Show them the film, talk about the things we need to correct, and then move very quickly on to the next.
What does it say about this team? I mean, Ottawa had a bunch of chances in that fourth quarter. You guys forced them to punt 4 times in a row, gave Drew and the guys a bunch of chances to tie this thing up, and the rest is kind of history.
Yeah, I think some guys made some big plays when it mattered, when it really mattered. You like to start a little faster, obviously, and I think the real big point to all this is in the first 6 games, we've had a lot of different experiences, this being another one of them to learn from. So they're not all the same lessons, so I think this will help help us be better in the long run, obviously.
Just what did you see from Drew this week? Obviously, he handled everything like a pro. I'm sure he's happy. He kind of admitted this, that he's happy this one's kind of in the past now. But just what you see from him tonight as well.
I think great work ethic always, great composure always, and then when it's finally over, there's going to be, he's only human. You're gonna have some elation and some joy, and his teammates are. They're really happy for him because they understand how this week could go, right? You're put under a lot of pressure and put under the microscope and asked a lot of questions that you might not want to even answer, but he handled himself like a pro, so his teammates recognize that, and they're very happy for him.
You mentioned the lessons learned. What are the lessons from tonight then?
Well, I think there's another piece of evidence that says the CFL is a great game. You're never out of it. The amount of focus required, where the attention should be put. If you don't play clean, you're going to put yourself in peril. Like there's so many, right? And some of them we're learning again, and then I think just the whole way overtime works and the 2-point converts and those things. It's good to go through that.
Head coach Mike O'Shea, speaking moments ago in our nation's capital. If you don't put yourself in a bad position, or if you put yourselves in, bad position, or what do you say? If you make mistakes, you put yourself in peril. Also said the CFL is a great game. You're never out of it. Very true. 200 wins, or pardon me, 200 games coached as a head coach for Mike O'Shea tonight. Gets a victory in his 200th. Is the Winnipeg Blue Bombers all-time winningest head coach. Continues on that.
There you go. 200. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty good. That's enough, Larry David.
See, we're a very Larry David show tonight, hey?
Well, I think I was at the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival on Friday night.
How was that?
It was actually really fun.
Somebody told me it wasn't very good.
Well, here's the thing, and I'm going to sound like those 1%ers. I went with my cousin who had an extra ticket, and we got regular tickets, and I don't think they were cheap either, but we were kind of sitting way in the back because we got there a bit later. We both had a lawn chair or whatever sitting in the back, and there was mosquitoes, and you had to kind of walk a far way to get drinks or food or whatever, but somehow I scored VIP tickets because I entered some stupid contest and they gave us VIP tickets. And I have to say, the VIP experience definitely kicked it up a notch. You got table service pretty close to the stage. You got to see Jim Gaffigan, who was hilarious. And
Jim Gaffigan performed. I didn't know he was there.
Jim Gaffigan was there. He's one of my favorites, and he knocked it out of the park with his joke about the eggplant emoji. I won't give it away. You can look it up. I'm sure it's on YouTube.
Who else did you see?
Yeah, no, it was quite a nice night.
Who else did you see?
You know what? I didn't recognize the names of the other comics. Ryan Hamilton, I think, was one guy who you'd know him if I didn't know his name, but I recognized him once he started talking, got on the stage. He was funny. And then who was the next guy? You could look it up. So I forget his name.
Somebody told me a couple of the comedians they saw, and they said one was names escape me. I'm a huge stand-up comedy fan. Here is Blue Bombers quarterback Drew Brown.
Plays, weren't really at your best, and then that last, half of the fourth quarter, you guys obviously tied the game. Just kind of take us through what maybe changed down the stretch on offense.
Yeah, I'd have to watch it and see. Just felt like we were kind of like going quicker and maybe less thinking, and we were just calling our stuff, and we were rolling, executing well. So I don't know specifically. I just know that we were kind of behind, so we had to go somewhat fast. And it seems like, at least in this league, a lot of teams do pretty good when you do that. So,
just take us through, I guess, the roller coaster of emotions, if you can call it that, tonight. Ottawa had some chances to close it out at the end. They punt 4 times in a row. You guys score. Overtime is crazy, obviously, and you guys go down to the 2-point conversion mini games, which is the first time that's happened in CFL history with this new OT format. So just take us through, I guess, just the roller coaster of everything.
Yeah, it definitely was. You catch yourself being like, okay, like, I hope he misses. But it's like, I know Brett. I don't want that for him. It was kind of cool the way that it ended. But, yeah, this league is crazy. Crazy things happen. And, I don't really know what to say right now.
Do you have a chance to chat with anybody on the other side? Just kind of connect briefly. Did you talk to Jake at all?
Yeah. Me and Jake connect. Like, I talked to Zach Claros, my wife, and my mother, and Jake Mayer pretty much every day. But yeah, he fought his ass off. He's a really good player. He doesn't get enough credit, in my opinion. So I know how that can be tough when you play that well and then you don't get the win. It's not an easy game. It's not an easy position to play up here. But I think very highly of him.
You've been so even keel all week, Drew. Did it not, your blood pressure not spike at all a little bit at the end there?
Yeah, it definitely did. Yeah. I tried not to let any of this affect me during the week. I don't think it did, but I'm going to kind of allow myself to feel the feels maybe a little bit here shortly. So,
a couple of the plays in the mini game or whatever you call it at the end, the 2-point conversion thing, looked the same. Was it something you guys saw?
We have a bunch of stuff where we're kind of moving and grooving, with motion, trying to confuse them for maybe just 3 yards. I think it's something that was really well schemed up. One of them, Zach drew up during the week. One of them, I believe Zach drew up a couple weeks ago, and we had been repping it, and we had ran versions of it. So, at the end of the day, those plays just come down to guys being in the right spots and us being able to hold and be on the right people up front, and that's what we did.
Like Taylor mentioned, there were a couple moments where Ottawa could have put this away, but your defense made some key plays. Maybe talk about what role they played in helping you guys have on the late rally.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool that I feel like everyone talks about complementary football, but Winnipeg embodies that. I appreciate that the defense and the special teams doesn't, when the offense is lacking, they know that we will eventually figure it out, and they keep that belief, and that's what good teams do. So, hats off to them. 2 weeks in a row where they've played really good, really 3 weeks in a row. So they're really coming into their own, and they're a challenge to go against every day in practice, so it's kind of what you expect. But yeah, they fought their ass off all night, and obviously they should get a lot of credit.
In a way, are you kind of glad?
There's Drew Brown following a crazy quadruple overtime, 36-34 Blue Bombers win. I thought that was so cool that Drew Brown says, my wife, my mom, Zach Schnitzer, and Jake Mayer, I pretty much talk to every day. Wow. Wow. Was not
That's
expecting
something.
him to say that.
No.
Like, I don't think Drew wanted out of Ottawa. I think Drew wanted to play, and it wasn't going to happen in Ottawa. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I'm a huge Drew Brown fan. People saying like, he's so chill. Palo Alto, California. He's a Cali kid, right? Oklahoma State. I think he played at the University of Hawaii before that. Like, just there's that Bo Levi Mitchell Texas quarterback swag, and then there's that Drew Brown Cali quarterback swag. It's different, and it's kind of the same. You know what I mean? Love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Bombers I said it at the beginning of the last show, the last Game Day After Dark here, live pregame, postgame, as we always do here on Bonfire Sports. Said it off the top of the last postgame show. The Blue Bombers are in very good hands with Drew Brown as their starting quarterback. Tonight, would they have preferred more 6s than 3s? Yeah, especially in the first half. But they scored in overtime. They scored in the second mini game in overtime. And then he converted the 2-point converts to Ontario Wilson, and then the next one to Gavin Cobb. Drew Brown is a winning quarterback. I asked Chris Walby this, and I'll ask you this, Zach Schnitzer. Can Drew Brown lead the Winnipeg Blue Bombers to a Grey Cup in 2026?
Yes, I think he can. Yep. I do think we have a 2-game sample size where he's won 2 games and one of them maybe shouldn't have. I think Ottawa dropped 4 interceptions. So that's going to have to be cleaned up. But does he have it in him? Yeah, absolutely. For sure he could.
You're right, Scorp.
For sure he could.
Bombers have 2 starting quarterbacks in the stable. Season looks promising, says Scorp. Yeah. Final thoughts, Schnitzy, as we wrap things up here on Game Day After Dark. You will join me on Friday. Short week for the Bombers and for us and for you. As they host the Stampeders on Friday. Chris Walby will join me for pregame, as we always do on Thursday. We'll aim for noon. We'll see when that happens. The easiest thing everyone can do out there, hit that thumbs up. We're at 93. I think we can get to 100 before we wrap up the live stream. Hit that thumbs up on YouTube if you haven't yet. Let's get to 100. Let's do it. But the easiest way, if you don't know when Walby and I are going to do the pregame show, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and you'll know when we are live. But you can always just go to BonfireSports.ca/live and get the latest content here. Game Day Winnipeg, Game Day After Dark with the illustrious Zach Schnitzer. I meant to write down that word you said earlier.
Matriculate?
Matriculate. The matriculous Zach Schnitzer.
Well, folks, in 2023, I gave you the term crumback as my gift to you. And 3 years later, Brown but not out, and Drew comes through. Sayonara, everybody.